AI.
AI.
AI. AI's AI.
AI. 4 AIs. 1 AI.
Today is all about AI. AI.
Kids, AI is here. On track, baby. Artificial intelligence. Hey.
Dude, I can't even tell you how tired of hearing the word I am. Every single laptop that I view, that I look at, not even just laptops, it's like a bunch of things. It's just centered around AI, which is crazy because it's not even that helpful. They have these new, I don't know if they're APUs or they're NPUs, I forgot exactly what they are, but basically it's a chip or it's a program inside of a chip, like inside of a CPU, that will basically allow the CPU to render um, like better. Um, in the case of that, definitely, definitely, I would not like to have that around. It's not helpful, and it's definitely not. I mean, maybe for some people, but not for me. Um, but I mean, something like DLSS that that seems helpful. Now, their super resolution technology. I was on the fence about using DLSS for a long time if I were to ever use it in the future due to the fact that I have a 1650, so I have no access to RTX, I have no access to DLSS, and I have no access to the super resolution or the multi-frame gen.
When using DLSS super resolution, the end product of the transformer model is more temporally stable with more image detail in motion.
But since they released the transformer model, now this was a couple months ago, but since they released the transformer model, I feel like I'm more than convinced that DLSS would be a good experience. I believe the 40 series and maybe the 30 series had the old CNN model, compared to the Transformer model, which actually I'm very surprised. It's a lot better. Just from what I'm seeing online, I can see a total change between the CNN and the Transformer. There is a lot less artifacting, and it looks a lot better. I feel like I'm maybe getting convinced. When the 50 series came out, I was like, nope, no way, not getting it. And it's not like I could. I mean, these are going for as high as 4 grand. And I still wouldn't get the 5080, but comparatively, it is like half of the 5090. I believe the 5080 is a 16 gigabyte card, while the 5090 is a 32 gigabyte card. Now, that might be why we are seeing a 20% difference without multi frame generation on Cyberpunk.
Oh man, I'm so tired. Sleep
Now, what's crazy is with multi frame generation on the 5080 compared to the 5090, the 5090 excels with like around 100 frames, which is seriously crazy. Now, I wouldn't suggest
I'm so tired.
getting the 5090 because it is almost $4,000.
Fucking shock for.
Now, if you have the money for a 5090, is it a good idea to go 5090, or is it a better idea to drop down to 5080 or last gen? I would say even if you have the money for 5090, I would not go 5090 because you have to factor in if you're building a whole desktop, you have the case, you have the CPU, you have the memory, RAM, power supply, the motherboard, the AIO. If you're doing a water cooler type of deal, you also have to have money for that. And there's also like little like I believe there's like little cleaners and stuff you also have to use for the water, and you have to put in more time and effort for the for cleaning. And then also you have to factor in all the peripherals you have to get. You have to get a monitor, which can be really expensive too. You have to get a mouse. You have to get a keyboard. You have to get a mouse pad. So would you go 5080 or 4090? I would go 5080 specifically for me. Now, if you're more of a budget oriented person, maybe you don't have the highest income, I would go either maybe 4070 or go 5070 Ti. I would not for the life of me go 50-50, 50-60. 40-60 might actually be good. I don't entirely know, but a good a good indicator is if you look at the VRAM. The 5080, since it has 16 gigabytes, I'd say that's a good indicator that that is a good card to get. And anything above that. Now, anything below that would probably still be good, but you also have to understand that you're not going to be able to be playing games at the highest resolution. If you have a card that is 16 gigabytes and you go 4K, it might drop a little bit, as we saw in Cyberpunk. Moving away from DLSS, let's talk about some more programs that are AI oriented. ChatGPT is one of the ones that I can think of just because I use it for videos. I use it for researching bits of technology, making like stories for because I'm a writer too. And it's kind of like Google Gemini or Microsoft Copilot. If you go into Google and you just search up, whatever, it'll come up with an AI prompt, and that can kind of combine everything, kind of just like ChatGPT, which is very helpful. I use it on my phone a lot actually. And then Microsoft Copilot is one of the ones that was paired with the PCs in the beginning of the video. Is it something? Are all those programs something that should be like completely sought after? That everybody should be going crazy about? I don't think so. It's not at the level where we're putting it in robots and it's making up decisions for humanity and stuff like that. There are real world applications where AI can be helpful, like in the case of Tesla's autopilot program. That's definitely a very helpful program, and I think nowadays a lot of people use it to, self drive their cars, and just AI in machines is helpful. It helps, our day to day. It helps the things that just that we do. Um, but it's not at a point where we should all be crazy about it. DLSS, okay, helpful for games, not helpful for real life. Gemini and all of those other programs, helpful for real life, but not to the point where we all crazy about it. Um, AI and automation in machines and cars, okay, that's helpful, but it can be unsafe. So to kind of wrap this all up, I don't think AI is something we should be using, um, or using to the point that these companies want us to use it to. It seems like DLSS, or sorry, it seems like Nvidia is all crazy about AI right now when clearly it's not something that is at the point where we all think it is.